Hello, everyone. Welcome back again. As we all know, GPT-5 was released yesterday, which is OpenAI's latest and greatest model. As per them, it is supposed to be the best coder in the world right now, but that we are yet to see. We haven't tried that yet. But apart from that, there are two great things that happened yesterday. One was the model was released to everybody at the same time, free tier, paid tier, everybody got access to the model on day one itself, which has never happened in the past. And the second thing is the pricing of the model for the API is really interesting. It's just $1.25 for 1 billion tokens input, and then $10 for output token, which is absolutely awesome. A lot of people can experiment with it, and I'm definitely going to be trying it today. I didn't get a whole lot of time, but I will definitely experiment with it. But this video is primarily about not about the features of GPT-5. It's about a quick test. So I was not able to spend a whole lot of time today, but there was something very interesting that I was trying yesterday. Interestingly, both O3 and Gemini 2.5 Pro failed at that test, which is why it was a very interesting test for me to carry out with GPT-5 today. Yesterday, I got an image of a flowchart, and there was some minor things that I wanted to modify in that flowchart, but then it was an image, which is where I was not able to modify. So a thought came in my mind that, we've got those models here. Let me ask them to convert it to a editable HTML so that I can modify some of the text that I wanted to modify. So that was a very interesting test. I've never tried it before, converting an image, or let's say a flowchart based image, into a HTML. So I tried that, and let me try to share my screen here, and then I'll walk that through how it happened and what all did I do there. So as you can see on the screen, this was the flowchart that I got, and some minor modifications needed to be done on this flowchart on some of the text, which is what I wanted to get done with on the could not be done with the image. So I wanted to get it done on editable HTML. So the first prompt I gave, so generally Gemini 2.5 Pro is my go-to model for coding stuff. So that's where I go and try every time I have to write some code. But if it does not work, or there's some help that I need, or review of the code and stuff, then I go to O3, because O3 is generally a model that I go to for brainstorming, where I need to process some thought and stuff. That was the model that I used to use. So as always, I went to Gemini 2.5 Pro to try that out. So I gave it the image, and then I told it to convert this flow diagram into a good looking HTML diagram with dynamic arrows showing the flow. Okay, because so I did not mention it to make it editable yet, because I wanted to first get the diagram. Once I have the HTML code, I could directly modify it there, or then I could I thought maybe I would go back and try the next steps. So the result was really poor. So if I scroll down here, so this was the kind of result. So I had to go back and say that, this looks really poor. The boxes are not even aligned. So modify this, right? That was the prompt. And then it tried again. And the final result was, what I got was this. So yeah, the boxes are there. Text is there, looks kind of neat, but there's no arrow, there's no flow, there's nothing in there. But it has done something. It has tried to improve it. It's nowhere near what the original flowchart was, but it is something. It looks kind of pretty to me. It's not usable, but it's pretty. That's what I thought. So with this result, I wanted to try it on O3, because the main aim was to get a editable HTML where I could modify the text and use it quickly, rather than getting a good code and all. So I was like, let me give it a quick try with O3 and see if I can get the HTML. So that's with that intention, I went to O3. I gave it the same image. I gave it the same prompt, pretty much convert this flow diagram into a good looking HTML with dynamic arrows showing the flow. And so I don't have the exact code that it gave me after this, but I have given it a prompt that you do not need the same layout and stuff. So I think it gave me something usable, something decent looking, which is where I went a step further, and I gave it a prompt that give me something where I can drag the elements so that they retain their positions. That was a kind of prompt. So I think it gave me something usable. So I'll show you the final result that I got with O3. Let me show you that. So when I opened the diagram, by default, it showed like this. It was draggable. I could drag the elements and they would, line up and things like that. So I kind of, tried to rearrange all of that, and finally it looked something like this. So which is where I kind of gave up, because I mean, it was so difficult to rearrange the diagram. What to talk of, next steps where I would have to probably regenerate, because had to edit text and make color changes and things like that. So I kind of gave up at this point. So which is where, when the GPT-5 was released today, I was really, I mean, initially I did not have sufficient time to test it out, but then this example was still lingering in my thoughts, that this was something that I was trying yesterday but could not do it. So let me quickly try that with GPT-5. So that's where it got very interesting. Let me show you what happened then. So with GPT-5, I was very ambitious from the beginning. I thought, they're saying so good things about GPT-5, and it's really good with, UI coding. That's what people are giving feedback on X as well. So I was ambitious, and I said, I need interactive HTML. I want it to be, I should be able to drag shapes into new locations, and it has to be preserved, and arrows need to be animated. So it's not just conversion of this into HTML. I wanted to go a step further than that. The result was really interesting. So the result was like something like this, where I could, like kind of drag these things around, which was happening with the result from O3 yesterday as well. But the best part was, the model thought on its own, and it gave me these options where I could, once I make modifications, I can export the layout, preserve it, and once the model updates the code, then I can re-import the layout. So the layout, the effort that I was going to put in would not be lost. So this was thoughtful from the model side, and this is very useful for me. So which is where I was very encouraged. Otherwise, the arrows and the by default shape was also good, where I went in and modified the shape, which looked very neatly like the initial shape we wanted, right? So that's what it was. Then I wanted to go a step further. I wanted the text to be editable, the colors of the boxes to be editable, making the size of the box, etc., bigger, etc., as well. So I gave it a further prompt that, edit text, change text font size, colors, and stuff. Add arrow directions, change the text box size and colors. So we need to have those features, right? So the output that it gave me for this prompt, where text edit and things like that, there were some compile time errors with the JavaScript. So I had to give it, that those errors here. It was able to suggest what modifications need to be made in the code. I went ahead and made it. Then I got another error. I got it to, so it was able to suggest what changes need to be made. So the next result was really interesting. It was able to give me, I could click on any item. It would give me, no things to modify node properties. I could change text color. I could change stroke color. I could change width and everything. I could make it bigger or smaller and things like that. And it will preserve it. It saves it, exports it. That was very encouraging. And this is pretty much one shot. I mean, I tell it to do it and gives me the code, and it works just like that. So I was very encouraged with this. Final edit was basically in this chart here. The text was not breaking in multiple lines because it was overflowing here, right? So I wanted it to basically give me code so that I can, it shows line breaks and stuff. So it gave me a, delta change that I had to go ahead and make in the code itself. I made that change, and then it was looking perfect. And by the way, I mean, it gave me these things, and so if my desktop is set up to in dark mode, it by default comes with dark theme. If I change it to light mode, it will become light. So those things were automatically taken care of by the model, which was very interesting. I mean, I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller, I can change the font size. So all the options that we wanted to try with this diagram, we were able to accomplish that really quickly with GPT-5. So based on this experiment, this is definitely clear that something that O3 or Gemini 2.5 Pro were not able to get done, GPT-5 was able to get it done in one shot. And it has gone above and beyond the initial requirements to make results usable. Although we will need to test model more to come to a final conclusion, but with this basic test, this model looks a lot better than the two other that I tried. Do share your experience with GPT-5 model. Do you like it, or you see some issues with it? Thank you so much for watching the video.